there. This webinar is aimed to inform the audience about the annual meeting 2022 themes, to provide a quick overview on abstract submission guidelines, review process, and categories, to present available awards categories, and to give some tips and advice on how to write an impactful contribution to the meeting from two relevant guests. Wendy Babbage, Editor-in-Chief of the International Journal of Technology Assessment in Healthcare, which is the Society's journal, and Iñaki Gutiérrez Ibarluzea, which is HTAI Vice President. The annual meeting 2022 will be held in Utrecht, in the Netherlands, from June 25 to June 29. The main topic is life cycle approach. Technology life cycle approach is based on the concept that HTA needs to explore the value of health technologies from an early stage of development until their maturation, and cannot be an activity performed only at a given time point. This new approach is probably going to change radically the way in which, for example, HTA agencies have been performing their work. So it's extremely relevant. Within the main topic, we will offer a global platform to deepen awareness of the consequences of a life cycle approach to HTA, improve knowledge of suitable methods and processes, strengthen the connections across stakeholders, and prioritize activities. During plenary 1, we will explore implication of adopting a life cycle approach from various perspectives. Where are we now? How are we going to make the transition? And what are the risks and benefits involved? Plenary 2 will explore the nature of public confidence and how it might influence how we will reconceptualize HTA's place in the life cycle and in our societies. Plenary 3 will explore the impact of regulators, HTA bodies, and clinicians on the quality and efficiency of healthcare by focusing on their roles, their interaction, and their alignment to the process. All the information about abstract submission are available on the annual meeting website. The abstract submission guidelines are downloadable as a PDF. Let's have a quick look to the guidelines. Applicants will be asked to select a topic area that most closely matches the theme of their abstract. There will be 6 topic areas. We will have HTA processes, where abstracts about novel approaches or ISO scanning, prioritization, and disinvestment, for example, can be submitted. HTA core methods, where we will have abstract about evidence review methods, economic evaluation, ethical evaluation, organizational impact. There will be stakeholder involvement in HTA, where we will have abstracts on patient and citizen involvement, engagement with industry, and then also HTA findings and advanced methods. For example, we will have abstract presenting how to use real-world data, or how to implement hospital-based HTA, or about mobile health solutions. Another category is policy issues in HTA, where we will explore universal health coverage issues, capacity building, regulatory HTA alignment, and then a more general category that is useful to submit, for example, emergency response to COVID-19 and related research. There will be 4 abstract categories: panels, workshops, oral presentations, and posters. Panels are designed to stimulate the discussion and share learning on topics relevant to the annual meeting theme. Workshops are designed to share innovative experience and practices, and to provide learning opportunities for participants. Oral presentations will be grouped by topic area, with sessions led by a chair, which will be selected by the International Scientific Program Committee. Authors presenting their work will have opportunities to interact with fellow conference delegates during poster presentation sessions. Deadline for workshop and panel submission is October 26. Deadline for oral and poster presentation is December 7. What about the review process? Well, all abstracts will be peer-reviewed by 3 experts identified by the HTA ISPC. The panel and workshop submissions will be reviewed by members of the ISPC, while the oral and poster submissions will be reviewed by a broader group of reviewers, which will involve ISPC members, but also external HTA experts. The process will be coordinated by the HTAI Secretariat. The final decision about inclusion and organization of the program will be made by the ISPC. But how these abstracts are going to be selected? Well, there are some scoring criteria that we should keep in mind. For panel sessions, for example, will be considered if the topic is a hot topic in the HTA arena, if the presenters are knowledgeable about the subject matter and collectively represent a variety of different perspectives or settings, and also if the contribution is original and innovative, and if the potential audience is interested in the topic. For each of these criteria, there will be a score assigned from 1 to 4. However, there will be bonus criteria, which will allow an extra point per each criteria. For example, if the abstract leans on one of the plenary theme, if there is a representation of low and middle income countries in the panel, if there is a gender balance in the panel, or if there is a representation of patients, users, or clients, and also if the submission is coming from the local organizing committee, from an HTA partner organization, or from an HTA interest group. Scoring criteria for workshops are very similar, but there are 2 extra criteria. For example, the workshops must contribute to the HTA capacity building, and there should be a high degree of interactivity. So the structure of the session should allow the participant to interact. The bonus criteria are very similar to those previously described. Scoring criteria for oral presentations and posters are a little bit different. The appropriateness will be considered. So again, a hot topic in HTA, alignment with the annual meeting themes, originality and innovativeness will be considered as well. For example, if the oral or poster is going to challenge existing paradigms or address innovative or critical issues, develop novel concepts, methodologies, tools, or technologies. And abstract structure quality will be also assessed. This is extremely important. We will have Wendy Babbage talking specifically about this point. Annual meeting 2022 will have presentation awards. The aim of presentation award is to recognize outstanding research work and presentations submitted for and held during the annual meeting. There will be 4 categories: best oral presentation for non-student, best oral presentation for student, best poster presentation for non-students, and best poster presentation for student. All the accepted abstracts will be eligible. Of course, for students have to prove to be a full-time student. The award is linked to a cash award, and there is a budget assigned of $2,000 US, and this award will be shared among winners. How these presentation awards are going to be assigned? Well, the HTI ISPC will nominate category leads who will oversee the presentation award reviews. The leads will work with a small team of experts and will review the abstract and the presentations. At least 2 reviewers will be assigned to each of the abstract presentation, and each reviewer will assess the abstract independently. There are specific scoring criteria that have been defined: presentation design, clarity of message, content rigor, and level of engagement. Scores will be assigned from 1 to 5 to each of these categories. To assist the reviewers to assign the scores, some guidelines have been developed. For example, will be considered if the contribution is eye-catching, if there is an appropriate use of text, figures, graphics, if there is a clear path to absorb the presented result, if there is an appropriateness of the presented data, and if the level of engagement of the audience is good enough. So let's introduce our guests. We have Wendy Babbage from Australia. She's Associate Professor at the University of Adelaide. She's General Manager of Research, Audit and Academic Surgery at the Royal Australasian College of Surgeons, past Chair of the International Network of Agencies for Health Technology Assessment, INATA, and Editor-in-Chief of the International Journal of Technology Assessment, INATCA. Our second guest is Iñaki Gutiérrez Ibarluzea from the Basque Country, Spain. Iñaki is the current Director of Innovation of the Basque Foundation for Health Innovation and Research, BOF, and coordinator of OSTEBA, the Basque Office for HTA. Iñaki has been president of HTAI from 2019 to 2021 and is current past president. Iñaki is also currently president of Euroscan International Network, IHTS, which is a scientific society focused on new and emerging technologies. So Wendy, can you share with us how to write a good abstract?
Thank you very much, Antonio. So writing a good abstract. So perhaps first I will start with some general points. So key things are to follow the instructions. And so here are the different sections of the abstract. It's important to note how they're to be completed, including the word limit. So not only for the full abstract, so how many words in total, but also the different parts of the abstract. It's key to write really concisely, and it's always better to have less words, but still to get your message across. If you have abbreviations, make sure that you write them in full first with the definition, and don't use too many. Additionally, check the guidelines for the writing style. So for example, for numbers, should they be written as numerals or as words? And for percentage, should it be the symbol or the word percentage? Obviously, a key is making sure that your abstract topic meets one of the meeting themes. And be sure to showcase your work. So say why it is important. Is it innovative, or is it maybe relevant to others and that they could do something similar in their country? But most importantly, submit on time. So now just moving to the different sections of the abstract. So it's important that the title reflects the content of your abstract, but not be too lengthy. So make the title short and concise. In the introduction, give the background first and then finish that part with the objectives. But do try to limit this section to only a few sentences. Highlight why the work is important to the HTA community. In the methods section, make this clear and informative, but also quite short and not unnecessary to relate what the methods are required for people to understand what you have done. And then with the results, these need to be presented clearly. And if there's many results, maybe too many to put in your abstract, select the key results and present them. And finally, with the conclusions, make sure that they link the objectives that you've put forward on what you're aiming to achieve with the results, and then what you've concluded from them. So moving on really now more not about writing your abstract, but what will happen to your abstract if you're wishing it to be published in the ISHTAC supplement. So just some points to go over for you. Only accepted abstracts that are presented at the meeting can be published in the supplement. There is a style guide, and I've talked about some styles earlier, but it's important to follow the style guide, and that will reduce the amount of editing required. The good news is from next year in 2022, so for the abstracts that you're preparing right now, there is no need to complete a copyright form. And all that's required is to indicate in your submission that you want your abstract published. This is something that would have been in the submission system previously, but now there's no need to additionally complete the copyright form. So for each abstract, there will be a contact author, and they will receive the request to review the final version of the abstract, and they will see any editing in track changes. So you can accept these changes and return to the editor, or you may accept some of the changes and suggest further changes, which will then be finalised with you. Just to give you an idea of the time frame, it's most likely that you'll be contacted late in August or perhaps in September, trying to avoid the holiday period in the Northern Hemisphere, with the aim that we will have the abstracts edited and typeset ready for publishing before the end of the year. Now, relating to ISHTAC is the Top Reviewer Award, and this isn't relating to the abstracts for the HTAI meeting, but to the journal and all of the articles that are reviewed by the many wonderful reviewers we have that give their time to the journal. And so to recognise these contributions and supporting of the authors and to producing high quality articles, the deputy editors and myself as editor-in-chief, we select usually the top 3 reviewers, and from that the top reviewer for each year. And this will be based on scoring of the associate editors during the year. So as they are doing their reviews of each of the articles, they will score the reviewers. And this is an award provided by the publisher of the journal, which is Cambridge University Press. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. It was extremely interesting. But now let's ask Iñaki how to write an award-winning research article. We invited Iñaki because last year his article won the Egon Johnson's Award. And now Iñaki will talk also about this prestigious award. Iñaki.
Hi everyone, and thanks for the question. I think it is a very interesting question, but first of all, we need to talk about what the Egon Johnson Award is. In principle, the Egon Johnson Award is named in recognition of Egon Johnson, that was the editor-in-chief of ICTAC, the International Journal of Technology Assessment in Healthcare, from his founding in 1985 until 2010. He was very well known by being one of the founding members of SBU, the Swedish agency, and also the funding of the IHE, the Institute of Health Economics in Alberta in Canada. And it is the Egon Johnson Award is aimed at recognizing excellence in International Journal of Technology Assessment in Healthcare, and it is given annually by HTAI to the authors of an outstanding paper published over the past years. And also we need to say that the winners are selected by HTAI Scientific Development and Capacity Building Committee and are announced during the HTAI annual meeting. One of the things that we need to say is that it was a full surprise to the authors of this paper in which I collaborate. And also it was a great pleasure also to be a part of this award, because it is an award of excellence to anyone that is working in HTA. The second thing that I was to say is how to publish an article that could be awarded. Well, I think it is a very interesting question. I think first of all, what you need to do is to build a team. And it is built on as it is the case of any other project that you could make in your life. So first of all, it is a good team. It needs to be multidisciplinary. And one of the things that we used to do is to follow up what is called a logic model. What is a logic model? It is starting from the end, which for many scientists is quite complicated because we are accustomed to work from the beginning. So we have an hypothesis, we build up the introduction or the state of the art. Finally finish with after the research, we finish with the outcomes and we discuss the outcomes. In the case of an article, I think we need to go in the contrary. Following a logic model means that we start from the results that probably we will know very well. We then try to accomplish the methods in terms of justifying with sufficient detail what we have done and how we reach to the results. Then what we used to do, it is going to the introduction. So it is justifying why we have done the research and so on. And finally, we finish with the discussion. Probably the most important thing in the case of an article, it is the abstract of the article, in which you need to condense, as probably Wendy has said previously, you need to condense in few words what is important for the audience, what is the main purpose of the research that you are doing, and which are the most important results that you have achieved with your research. On that basis, so having I would say the 4 tips. On the one side, it is having a good team, establish a logic model, defining which are the paths, and finally constructing or building up a good abstract. I think it is you have most of the key elements to be successful in an article, and I don't know, perhaps in the future being awarded. I'm going to present you the article by which we were awarded. It is an evidence-based framework for identifying technologies of no or low added values. In this case, as I was saying, the team was multidisciplinary, with people from different countries in the world, with different backgrounds and also with different skills. People that were very keen on methods, as it is the case of Nora and Maria Eugenia. People that has a good trust and good experience in establishing and writing articles. That is the case of Brian Gottman. And someone that was in between, that is my case, that I have a full experience on HTA. On that basis, you have sufficient tips and sufficient possibilities to be successful. But another thing it is that as you go for lottery, it depends also on those that are evaluating the articles, and it could be that probably this year in 2020, as we are seeing in the right corner, that they were also tremendously good articles, like they were by Thomas or by Jackie Street, and probably they will be as good articles as the article that finally was awarded ours. On that basis, I wanted to thank HTAI for giving me the opportunity to share with you some of our experiences and also sharing with you the results of our research, in which we try to establish a framework, an evidence-based framework for identifying technologies that could be deleted from the systems and then making the systems more sustainable, more efficient, and giving more quality. So I thank you very much, and keep in touch. And those that are willing to have more tips, I will be delighted to answer any questions from your side, and also to contribute further to the society. Thank you.
Thank you, Iñaki. Very interesting. Let's consider now a possible journey of an abstract submitted for the annual meeting. So first step is the submission. So you will submit your abstract. Automatically, this abstract will be eligible for the presentation award, plus will be included in the International Journal of Technology Assessment in Healthcare supplement. So will be published in the special session. Your abstract will have the chance to win the presentation award that is related to a cash award, as we said before. But of course, you are going to write a full paper related to the abstract that you just submit. Let's say that you submit your full paper to the International Journal of Technology Assessment in Healthcare. This means that your full paper will have the chance to win also the Egon Jonsson's Award. So in the next annual meeting, you will have the chance to be awarded with this Egon Jonsson's Award. Let's close this webinar with some takeaway messages. The annual meeting 2022 will be held in June from 25 to 29 in Utrecht in the Netherlands. Technology lifecycle approach will be the main theme of the meeting. Abstract submission closes on October 26 for workshop and panels, and December 7 for oral and posters. Scoring criteria, together with the submission guidelines, are already available from the annual meeting website. And then we learned from our guests, Wendy Babbage and Iñaki Gutierrez Ibarluzea, that abstract quality is a key element. So please spend some more time to produce a high quality abstract, because this will be rated. But also, if you want to go to the next level, try to produce a full paper based on the abstract and do it together with a good team, but this can make the difference. Thanks for your attention. Bye for now.